can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the female solution.
Well, hello, everyone. We have a wonderful show tonight. Tonight is about the power of the tongue. Many people um, underestimate the power of speech, but the word of Yah teaches us that our words reveal our heart. A careless word can destroy a friendship. A harsh word can damage a marriage. A rumor can ruin a reputation. Yet, a wise word, a gentle word, a timely word can bring healing, restoration, and hope to someone who feels broken. The book of James tells us that the tongue is small, but it is like a spark that can set an entire forest on fire. And if we are honest, we have all seen how quickly words can ignite conflict, division, and pain. So stay with us as we uncover the wisdom of the word and learn how to transform our speech into something great and wholesome. I am YaNi'YAH. Welcome to Mercy Seat.
Father, forgive us. Can you have mercy? Please have mercy on us. Please have mercy on us. We repent of our sins. Won't do it again. Deliver us from this evil, chosen people. Please have mercy on us. Please have mercy on us. We repent of our sin. Won't do it again. Deliver us from this evil, chosen people. Yeah. Please, yeah, forgive us, fight for us, forgive us, your chosen people.
Welcome back. Again, I am your host, YaNi'YAH, and again, welcome to Mercy Seat. As we already get ready to get started, when we get ready to get started, we always like to open up with a guest, which is what we call 15 minutes of fame. So I want to welcome a very good dear friend, Miss YaNi'YAH Latif, who is also the producer and also writer and all for the Female Solution. So welcome, sis. How are you?
I am fantastic, and I'm YaNi'YAH Latif. Always pleased.
Okay, I don't know if it's me. There you go.
Yes. So are you able to hear me okay?
I do.
Good.
I do.
Great. Yes.
So you have some exciting things that are coming up. Tell us about that.
Well, I am very excited because I have organized a group called the Online Network of Associated Internet Radio Hosts. There are people all across the world who are using the power of the internet to spread a positive, empowering message. People like yourself, of course. And we are seeing that our world is changing and going through some major transformations. So we've created a whole network called the On-Air Global Media, and On-Air stands for Online Network of Associated Internet Radio Hosts. And under that, of course, we have a radio network, a TV network, and a daily news paper, a daily news online, the On-Air Daily News. And in our online network, we have some special people that we've called Voices of Enlightenment. And they are particularly inspired to use their platform, their internet platform, to be able to give a message not only of hope, but of insight and empowerment as this world begins to go through a change. It's literally splitting in half. There's only two kinds of people. There's the aware and the unaware. Now, the aware are people who are going through a spiritual transformation. And the unaware are the people who are still negative, still fighting, still in conflict, still hating. And so the earth and all of course, you know the scriptures, all the religions have predicted that this will happen. There will be some left behind. There will be some that leave. There will be, and then literally what's happening, we're on this, we're physically on the same earth, but we'll be having two different realities.
Yeah.
And so I was inspired to begin to share the information that people who are using their platforms to enlighten, to inform, to inspire. And so my new series on my show on Wednesdays at 7 a.m. will be entitled Voices of Enlightenment. And each show I'm going to introduce one of these individuals who is having a powerful impact through the media, through the means of the internet. And much of what they introduce are new concepts of the spiritual journey we are on as the family of Earth. It's not about what religion you are. It's about your capacity to grasp the essence of whatever spiritual belief you have. And that essence is love. If you are loving, then you understand. If you are unloving, you do not.
Yeah.
And many of the people are communicating with beings beyond our earth. You may call them extraterrestrials, or they may be people who are living in the spirit realm. But they have transcended to the degree that they are able to communicate with those beyond our atmosphere, so that we as the family of Earth can understand we're not alone in the galaxy. We are of such a violent nature that those who are living in other places, other planets, they can't come here because we're so violent. And so those of us who have evolved out of that spirit of violence are able to then communicate with those who are outside of our realm, who really want to help us, because Earth is about to move to that level of evolution where other planets are, where people live in peace, people live in prosperity, because everybody knows how to share. That's just the secret of how you live life. We haven't learned that on Earth, and the Earth is tired. The Earth is tired of us. The Earth is going to shake us off like fleas on a dog and cleanse herself of this negative energy. That's why you see earthquakes, the tornadoes, tsunamis, to get rid of the negative energy, because Earth is about to move to another level of existence. And only those who are spiritually ready can move with her. And this is the reality that all of our religions have taught. So our internet platforms feature much of this information as we give news stories of people who are doing positive things to give us hope, because the whole world is not going to hell in a handbasket, as they say. But what we're doing is we're seeing all the negativity come to the surface. Like you must see an infection in your body. It has to come to the surface so you can heal it. You get a boil on your skin, or you get, a skin eruption. You get something that comes to the surface so you can see that there's an infection inside. So that's what's happening with all of the conflict in the world. So this page on our website, onaireverywhere.com, and that's where you will see our radio network, our TV network, and the radio TV network, which has the listing of all of those voices of enlightenment that are bringing us that higher consciousness. these are people who understand what's going on and
So,
able to open the eyes of people who might still not get it.
so if nothing else, Naima, then when someone is tuning in or they want more information or they really want to gather what it is, because oftentimes, as I once at a particular time, you fall into that religious realm or however, but more so wanting to be spiritual. What connection or what would be this purpose when you're saying learning more? What is it that people are actually going to be learning? Because one of the things you said was in regards to love, and that's something that we really have gotten away from in regards to loving one another. And that was one of the reasons why the book that I was inspired to write, Love is Yah, is because we need to really learn how to get to the foundation of what love really looks like. Who is love? The Father is love. And so how do we display this love? And is that what this is going to be kind of based on? Talking about how to connect as people loving one another and sharing or ideas. Is that what this is basically for?
Well, it's to expand your understanding of who you are and what you are. You are not a body. You have a body. You are not a body. You are an eternal soul having an experience on this earth, because earth is a school. And it's one of the toughest schools in the universe, because we come here and we agree to put on a veil of forgetfulness. We don't even remember the plan that we made to come here and the experiences we plan to have to help us evolve back to that understanding of what love is. We left the presence of God to have this experience inside a physical body in a place that you learn through the opposites. You learn what love is by experiencing what love isn't. And the goal is to come back to a place of love. Have you ever played at a maybe a birthday party, the game Pin the Tail on the Donkey? Have you ever played that?
Yes, I remember that.
Blindfold, and the donkey's there on the wall, and so you can't see. They give you the tail, and they spin you around, so you don't know where you're going. And so you got to find your way back to the donkey and place the tail in the right direction. Well, that's what this earth game is like. We come here blindfolded. We don't remember that we have a plan. We have a goal. We have experiences we're going to have. We've totally forgotten. We're blindfolded. We totally don't remember anything. And we have to find our way back to be a loving being. And of course, we don't know anything because that's the game. You don't know, you don't remember, but you planned everything in this life. You planned your parents, you planned your race, you planned your country of birth. You planned all of this. You planned the different challenges you have, health challenges, everything else. You planned this to see if you can go through these experiences and still become and evolve into and remain a loving being. That's the assignment. That's the curriculum of the Earth School.
So in other words, what you're saying is, and even when the Father says, I have a plan for you, but what you're saying is that we've already had a plan. Is that what you're saying? So it's not so much of the plan that He has for us, it's the plans that we've developed ourselves. Is that what you're saying?
Well, that's what this is. I mean, the thing that people have perhaps not realized is that all of us are expressions of God. All of us. And we are here on an eternal journey of learning. Earth is just one school of learning. And many of us are remembering this because of various experiences that we've had. So we'll have people on that feature people who have, and some of them are themselves, who've had near-death experiences, who've had extraterrestrial experiences. And in my, I did a series that's on my website, YaNi'YAH.com, called 555. And I featured many of these people who we will see on my upcoming series Voices of Enlightenment, people who are now teaching what they remember, because much of our religions are maybe not all understanding, even though the words are there, but you might not understand what they are revealing to you. And so
Gotcha.
we're thinking, when we talk about judgment and what happens after you leave here, well, what happens after you leave here, God is not an angry, vengeful punishment. You get to see what you did to people, and you get to experience it, and you judge how you hurt people or how you help people. You're the judge. And our Creator is allowing you to learn by seeing and feeling how you affected people. So it's not an outside force that's punishing you and beating you and telling you you did bad. It's you seeing and feeling it yourself.
So what I would like to do, because this is more so during this time was the introduction, the time of introduction. But what I would like to do is to be able to look into that, see where this is going, and like have some questions. And I'd like to actually come back and do a show on this. So I got to pinpoint this one and remember, because there's a lot of things that are saying. So I know if I have a lot of questions, I know others have a lot of questions. And then I like to do things with the word. So I like to go back to the scriptures and what the Father is saying, how does this line up? And, how do we look at this view in the manner of which you've shared? So I think that this is a very good, interesting topic. And so hopefully down the line, we can really pinpoint this and allow this show to be something that we really talk about. I think is very interesting, because I like to really see, the whole dynamics of it. You know what I'm saying? As you were stating.
Oh, absolutely. And if you go to onaireverywhere.com, go to onaireverywhere.com and go to the page that says Voices of Enlightenment. And as I introduce one of the people that we're looking to share with you, I'm just going to throw this out here. She is a channeler, and there are many who channel. Of course, if you've heard of channeling, it just basically means you're telepathically communicating with another being. But there are those who are afraid of that because they don't understand we're all telepathic. We all communicate mind to mind, heart to heart, soul to soul. Most human beings have lost that capacity. I'm going to be bringing on people who are interspecies communicators, means you communicate telepathically with beings who are other than human, dogs, cats, flowers,
this
have divine consciousness. And there are those who have redeveloped their skills in communicating with other beings. And so I'm going to bring those kinds of people. So this expands our understanding of existence, because we're looking at reality differently, understanding that God is the creator of all things, and all things have God consciousness, all things. So when we purify ourselves, we can communicate with all beings on this earth, in the spirit realm, and beyond.
Okay. Well, I'm going to look forward to that. I really want to see, like I say, we do some research. Again, YaNi'YAH, thank you for coming on and sharing in regards to your show. Could you please tell everybody when your show airs?
Well, of course, my show airs every Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. This new series will be kicking off in April. So, of course, we're looking forward to that first show being April 1st. That is Wednesday, and always start new endeavors on April 1st. For me, that's like my new year.
That new beginning.
New beginning.
The
So
spring, you're
yeah.
going in where you're springing forward and bringing in the newness. Well, again, thank you so very much, YaNi'YAH. And we will be connecting. I really want to see what this is all about. So everybody, this is new to you, is new to me as well. And so I always like to take 15 minutes to give to the other individuals or other hosts that are part of the Female Solution Network. Just kind of let you all see, what they do, when they do it, and however. So YaNi'YAH, is that every Wednesday? Is that 7 a.m., 7 p.m.? When is that?
7 a.m. Wednesday mornings, 7, 8.
So you can catch YaNi'YAH every Wednesday mornings at 7 a.m. I will be bringing YaNi'YAH back on as a guest to really talk about what her show is, the intentions and what you need to get from the show. So again, YaNi'YAH, thank you so very much. We're going to get ready and we're going to go to commercial. And when we come back, we're going to be talking, as I said to you guys, in regards to the power of the tongue. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Great day. It's your girl Asada here to introduce a new female solution show called Asada Says. That's right. Every month we're going to talk about everything I am, from cryptocurrency and financial security to good health and parenting strategies. Come on and talk with me every Tuesday morning from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. And let's do that thing the way Asada says it should be done. See you then. Peace, right here on the Female Solution.
Welcome back, everyone. As you all know, this is the network of the Female Solution. I am your host, YaNi'YAH, and this is Mercy Seat. We're going to be talking today in regards to the power of the tongue. Now, one of the things I want to just put up even before I go into it is Proverbs 18:21. It says, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Let me just expound, right? So we know that many of us, sometimes we often do what is called affirmations, right? We also have those moments and those times when we talk to individuals and we say, we speak what comes up. Whatever comes up, it comes out. And we have to be very careful of that, because there comes some times when you could be saying stuff that can be very, very detrimental to other individuals. So when we think about death in life, what are we really thinking about? What is it that we want to actually produce when we're speaking to someone? Sometimes people don't even care about what they say, right? It's like, oh, I said this because you made me feel this way. Or I say this because it needs to be said. But why do we not want to care about what we say one to another? That is very crucial, right? And then we have James 3:4-6. Behold also the ships, which though they be so great and are driven of fierce winds, yet are they turned about with a very small heeling, whichever soever the governor listed. 5 says, even so, the tongue is a little member, the boasteth great things. Behold, how great a matter a little life kindleth. And 6 says, and the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. So is the tongue among our members, that it defileth the whole body. I'm trying to say it as far. And setteth on fire the course of nature, and it is set on fire of hell. I just want to kind of just elaborate a little bit on those in regards to. So let's just think about this, right? So when we're opening up our mouths, we're supposed to open up our mouths with wisdom, right? The things that we say should be empowering. We want to impact. And we're normally always saying that one to another. We want to be inspiring. I want to be able to encourage you. The words that we share should build someone, right? And when we even think about it, we should want to help someone get to that next level. So we say things like, oh, that you're great, you're doing an awesome job. We say those things. And then there are some individuals, even if some things can be true, like, you're not doing that well, but you could do better, or you could do better. And, but to come to someone and tell them and say, what you just did, that's just horrible. You should never do that. Or to tell someone, you know what, you will never make it. You could never pass this test, or you could never get to the next level. Those are like negative things that people will say, because most individuals, they say, like they say, what comes up comes out. Should we actually find that okay? No, we shouldn't. We should always want to inspire someone, even if what they're doing is not good. Let's just think about it. I was watching something earlier today, and it was really interesting. And the gentleman was talking about fathers, not being in the home, and the decisions that are made, which causes a man to leave the home, right? It could be the woman is a nagging woman, or the man may have found another interest. It could be to the point where they feel as though they've outgrown each other. But then we think about the suffering that takes place. And that's why it's so important for us, even when we're coming together, to be careful of the things that we say one to another. And let me tell you something that can be so powerful, but yet so detrimental. And that's the 3 words, I love you. People can tell individuals all the time, I love you, but your actions show something different. So what does that do? That's a person, it sets them at a place of discomfort. Some people, insecurity. Some individuals have committed suicide because someone has said, I love you, but yet and still everything that they displayed was something different. Isn't that amazing? How something so beautiful, something that should be so amazing. When somebody tell you I love you, it's like that's next level stuff, right? It's like, I love you. Them 3 little words can be so powerful, yet the impact of it could be so negative. I don't know if you all ever remember, there was a thin line between love and hate. And in the movie, Thin Line Between Love and Hate, Martin, I don't remember the character's name, so I'm going to give their actual names of what I know. So Martin and Bobby Brown, and they had another friend that was there. And when they would come together, and they this one particular scene, they came in, and they was in the little club they was opening up or working at. And there was a lady that Martin liked. And it was, they the guys, the little slicksters and everything, but she caught his eye. And when he got together, Bobby, their theme was never tell a woman you love her. Those was like profanity words, right? That was like beat you down type words, right? But when those two got together, him and the young lady, she was an older woman, but when they got together, they really started, doing things together and everything. She had already had a dramatic experience in her life. And that's another thing. Before I even go into what I was going to say, you never know what someone has experienced in their lives. And that's why words are so important. When we're talking to individuals or when we're sharing, you need to know where a person's headspace is, and I'll give another little scenario in a moment, but let me finish with this one. So after that, like I said, they're doing their little things and everything, and she's pouring into him. She's gotten comfortable with this man. And while she's gotten comfortable, she ended up sharing with him, what her experience was, because she had murdered her husband. And apparently he was abusive to her or so. But while she was with him this one particular day or one night, she said, "Do you love me?" And he looked and he paused and she asked him, "Do you love me?" In order for him to accomplish what he wanted to accomplish, he said, "Yes, I love you." And right after that, everything went downhill, especially after he realized that she had murdered her husband. Let me give you another thing that happened, which is very, very sad that happened today. A young lady, 12 years old, and some of you all may have heard about this, was being bullied. And this child has lost her life. So with all of that, we know it is because we feel that we have a right to misuse somebody. We have a right to say things that are nasty. And I'm gonna tell you something, children can be very, very cruel, especially nowadays. You know, we've always had it where children be cruel, but children nowadays, these babies will say stuff all off the rocket. And then some people are very sensitive. And this young lady, you know, what it seems like, because I didn't have the opportunity to just like really hear the full story, but what got me was the fact that her mother had to find her on the block, laid out, and this child was in a coma. She was brain dead. What in the world could have caused individuals to want to hurt that child to the place where they took her life? What could be so horrible that we feel that it is okay for us to say whatever we feel like we need to say? And this tongue is a weapon. So when it talks about the ship, y'all know, have you ever just seen a ship, the big ship, the little wheel, the stern wheel, that little bitty thing guides that big ship. So that little bitty tongue in your mouth can destroy take a person's life, or cause a person to take their life. That little bitty tongue has caused wars. That tongue has caused people to fight, to kill one another. Why do we find it so necessary to just say whatever we want to say? And we're going to use scriptures, right? And we don't want to edify, we want to destroy. And so when we think about death being the power of when death is in the tongue, it's just that. When Martin said what he said to the young lady, to the woman that was in there, she ended up later on shooting at him and the young girl that he wanted to be with. But, you know, they grew up together, but they ended up wanting to be together. He didn't want to deal with her no more. He got what he wanted from her. So he said what he said to obtain what he wanted to obtain. And once he got what he wanted, it wasn't important to him anymore. Do we not find that many times where you've had someone promise you something? You've had someone make commitments, or they say they're going to do one thing and they end up doing something different? How did that make you feel? What was the thing that went through your mind? When someone is talking to you and their tone changed, like I could be in here and I'm talking to you and I'm telling you, you know what, I really hope that you guys, you know, grasp hold to what the word is saying. And I hope that you really think about, you know, the things that you say. Or I could be sitting up here, look, you all need to check yourselves before you wreck yourselves. You know, that mouth of yours, you need to do something with that mouth. I mean, if it came down and you had to choose between the two, right? You're not going to want to talk to me if I'm talking at you. And if I'm saying things, and I want to go back to the affirmations, right? So we talk about affirmations being a good thing because we want to do positive talking. So when we do positive talking, that means I want to encourage you that even if what you're doing could be better, it would be best for me to be able to say, you know what? Instead of you doing, and I use the example of fishing. I like fishing, right? So instead of me saying, take it, put your bait on there, do your sling and put your rod out, kind of like make sure it goes a little further because you want to get it out. Instead of me saying, dang, you stupid. Why don't you just take the pole and then take it, sling it, and throw it? What are you doing? You got it going all over in the grass, and you got that right there is just going to be a turnoff. You're not where you could have enjoyed fishing. You don't never want to go. At least you don't want to go back with me no more because of how I'm handling things. But I say that to say this: in this world, we have to learn how to speak to one another. I had seen a lady in a store a little while back. One lady spoke to the other lady, and me, I go in places, I'm always speaking, hey, how y'all doing, But the one other lady was like, what's she speaking to us for? I don't even know her. Now, what if that woman would have been to a point where she would get angry and then she wanted to have a fit? What would happen? So we want to be very careful. If there's, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to be back. And I'm going to come back with 2 more scriptures, and then I'm going to break it all down. But this right here is very important to me in regards to the closing of, and that is the power of the tongue. But we'll be right back after these messages.
Welcome to Master Force with Mushim Suit. Join us each week on Thursdays at 7 a.m. Central, live on Facebook and YouTube on the Female Solution page, as we dive into powerful topics designed to assist you in mastering your life force. Our conversations feature a diverse lineup of experts, all dedicated to your growth. Tune in weekly to discover new ways to elevate your spirit and raise your vibration. And remember, we are ascending.
Hello and welcome back. Before I go back into, I want to see if there's any comments. We do have a comment, and we want to make sure that we address that. Looking forward to the new show, ladies. Enjoying the show from Indianapolis. All right, dear. All right. I hope you enjoying and resting. So we want to go in. I want to do Matthew 12:35 through 37. I'm kind of like pause with this one, and I'm not going to just read off like I did the other ones because I really want you all to hear this. A good man out of the good treasure of the heart bringeth forth good things. I just want to just pause right there. So that means everything you say, everything you do, it should be positive. It should be building. It should not cause a person to feel a certain kind of way, as they say. Now, there are some things you can say to some people, and it doesn't matter how nice you say it or how it goes. Yeah, there's just some people that, their reactions is going to be negative reactions, but we still need to stay positive, right? The second part of that, the B part of that says, and an evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things. That means your actions, your wordings, you name it, whatever it is, you are just about destruction. That's why it says death and life. So your life doesn't mean anything to you. Nobody else's life means anything to you. It is whatever you want to say, it doesn't matter, because some people are just negative. They are. But do we have to be negative, right? Or do we have to respond the way that they respond? 36 says, but I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. So there's going to come that time when you have to face the Father, all of that negativity, all of that destruction, everything. You got to be held accountable for that. So we have to ask ourselves, is it even worth it? You know, back in the day, there used to be a saying, if you don't have nothing nice to say, just don't say nothing at all. Right? That's what, you know, the elders used to say all the time. You know, you say certain things, you use profanity or whatever. They wash your mouth out with soap. We need them, we need them mamas back here because the mouths today, you know, it used to be to a point where you can walk past the sanctuary and people, you know, they would take their hats off, or, you know, they wouldn't use profanity in front of it. Now people put their cigarettes out, they use profanity, they urinate, they do all kinds of stuff. So it's just some things are just not there and people are not caring anymore. So I see, good evening, my love. That's my husband. He always sends us love, and I just want to tell you, hello, sweetie pie. So good to see you, and thank you for your support. And then verse 37, for by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. So that means everything that comes out of your mouth, whether it's positive or negative, Father hears it. And you have to take accountability for that. So what I really would like to leave with everyone today is, if you have that little potty mouth, if you have that mouth of destruction, if you're that person that feels as though whatever comes up, comes out type of person, let's think about that. I really want you to think about what you're going to say. Is it possible that we can change things? Yeah. But we also have to know and understand that the Bible would be a lie if if everybody just got along right now. That's not going to happen. It's not, because then the Bible would be a lie. Because he said that the day and the time shall come when men shall be lovers of themselves. This is what he said, what the word says. So we have to make that moment become a reality. So what I would like, as we get ready to close tonight's episode of The Power of the Tongue, I want to leave you with this truth. Every word you speak plants a seed. Every word that comes out of your mouth plants a seed. Some seeds bring life, encouragement, and healing. Other seeds bring pain, division, and destruction. The question we must ask ourselves is, what kind of fruits are our words producing? If you just think about today, just today, think about it. What did you say that could have been impactful or that could have been hurtful? And let's think about Proverbs 15 and 1. It says, a soft answer turns away wrath. A soft answer. So that means whatever it is that we do, it has to be a soft answer. Words of encouragement, words that would help individuals no matter what. Because you know what? You can have a person that is really outraged. I know, I've seen it happen. I've experienced it. Like, during the time I was driving Uber, and I had one of the riders get in my car, and I was saying to him, I always ask, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm not doing too good. You what? You're not doing too good? I'm like, oh no, we can't let that happen. Well, what's going on? And he started sharing about having to go to his job and how people are just all over the place and they negative and they're this and that. And so I said to him, I said, well, I tell you what. I said, when you get to work today, I want you to be that light. I want you to be that one that changed the atmosphere. because it only takes one. And that one could be you. And so when you get there and you come in with that positive vibe, and when everybody else is always like, oh, come on, y'all, let's do better. If you be encouraging, speak to everybody. Say something nice to everybody. Y'all, it's seemingly as though y'all never experienced that. But anyway, as we went on with our word, with our ride and everything, when he got done, he was like, you know what? I needed that. And I'm really going to utilize that. He said, because everybody comes in and they're very negative. But now I wish I would like to know what his atmosphere is like right now. Was there a positive impact? Would I know that ever? If nothing else, he got in my car and he felt good. So I was very excited. And so when people would get in, no matter what, I always wanted to have something positive to say to them. And so on tonight, I encourage you to examine your words. I want you to, when you wake up in the morning, I want you to think about something positive. And let it start with you. Because do you not even know that there are times you're being negative to yourself, right? You tear your own self down by saying, oh, I'm going to have a horrible day. Or you'll say, I already can tell this day is not going to go, this day just ain't going to turn out right. You've already spoke death over yourself. It doesn't matter, because the word says count it all joy, right? So no matter what's going on, think of something positive to say instead of something negative. Learn how to encourage yourself. Even if nobody else encourages you, you encourage you. And if nothing else, I'm going to encourage you right now. Whatever it is that you want to do, do it, as long as it's not negative. Now, I have to come back and make sure, I don't want you going out robbing nobody, killing nobody. But whatever you set your mind to, that is positive. Know and trust that you can do it. Anything you put your mind to, you can accomplish that thing. But you have to trust it. Because if you don't trust to believe that you could do it, how would you think somebody else can? But then there are individuals such as myself who will speak life. I'm going to take a real quick break and I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Leaders of nonprofits empowering worlds. Let's go.
But the vision that God gave me, I felt that it was time for me to step out and work on the vision that God gave me.
We need look no further. We have a unique voice. We have a unique talent pool.
Leaders of non.
All right. Welcome back. As always, every week, I like to come and bring some things that can be very, very impactful. And as I said to you guys earlier, I really want you to be very careful of the choices that you make in regards to our words. You have to believe and know and understand that you are important. You are a creation. And anything that you want to do, you can do it. The power of the tongue is a very important small member of your body. We can learn how to transform our words. We can learn how to uncover the wisdom of the word and learn how to transform our speech because we learn to govern our tongue. We begin to govern our lives when we govern our tongue. When we bring that thing under subjection and we allow ourselves to know and understand that when I speak, to my parents, when I speak to my colleagues, when I speak to my children, when I speak to my spouse, when whomever it is that I'm talking to, that it sets off a reflection. And there are some individuals who can be having a horrible day. I've experienced it myself. And because you come and you talk to them and you say some positive things, their whole world changes upside down. It goes from being upside down to upside right. They say, I needed that. Have you ever talked to somebody and when you got done talking to them, I'm talking about when you're talking positive, and you got done talking to them and they tell you, thank you, I needed that. You give them a hug and they said, man, I needed that. We already know chaos and everything else is already going on in the world. It's here, it's happening. But why do we want to be a part of that? Why can't we be set apart? Why can't we be different? Why can't we have a different view? And just because somebody says something negative to you does not mean you have to say something negative back. As I said a little while ago, some seeds bring life. Do you want to be that life bearer? Do you want to be that one that says the things that individuals need to hear? Do you want to be that one that can be an encouragement to someone? Do you want to be that one that can be healing? And let me tell you something. Healing isn't just I have a wound and that wound is healing. Healing is also that emotional being, never knowing what somebody went through as a child, never know what somebody's going through at this point in time in their lives. So that healing can be something that is said and done that now what was pressing on that person, what was causing them to feel a certain kind of way, they're not feeling a certain kind of way anymore. They're positive. They're thinking positive. Why? Because you planted a seed that brought forth life in them. Because they didn't think that they could. But because of you, Father using you, they now have a better way. We bring division in families. You know, people get on the phone, something happens, this one calling that one up, telling that one what just happened. Confusion. And what are you doing? You're bringing destruction. There was a family that I know of, and one of the family members said something to another family member. And what the person was saying to, I'll put it to you like this. A brother was sharing something with a sister, and the sister told the other family member. And when she told the other family member what the brother said, that person got upset. Now she don't even talk to that person anymore. And what was said wasn't meant to harm. You see what I'm saying? This is the reason why we have to be careful of what we say out of our mouths, because what we say out of our mouths can bring destruction. So now these two individuals aren't talking because of a misunderstanding. And all that person was doing was just saying, you know, well, get the person to do, you know, what is needed to be done. I know I'm going around. I don't want to say no names, right? But my point is, be careful of what you say. And many people, be careful of what you listen to. Because just because a person says something to you about what another person says, it's best that you go to that person and talk to that person so that you can get understanding. With all that getting, get understanding. And that way, you don't have to worry about the confusion. You don't have to worry about two individuals not talking. For what? You're mad at me for what? You're not talking to me for what? And then we don't even want to take the time that if we did hear something, I always say to individuals, if you've heard something, go to that person, talk to that person, and then say, you know, if I've said something to offend you, if I said something to hurt you, then forgive me. But we don't just close the door on people without getting full understanding. You know, as they say, there's two sides to every story. Well, if you haven't heard my side of it, you only heard the other person's side, those lips could have been speaking death for whatever their reasons may have been. But if you came to me and you talked to me, then you can see that there was no death in the situation. It was only life. And that's what that person was doing, just being an encouragement. But it got twisted. So somewhere down the line, there's going to be something I'm going to talk about, which is called gossiping. And we need to really, truly stop that. You know, gossiping is not cool, right? Or saying things. And again, that's that tongue. That tongue, boy, I tell you, that tongue, you know, it brought nations down, right? People are dead and gone because of what somebody else said. Death and life. Which one are you going to speak? So in my closing for tonight, as we close this episode, The Power of the Tongue, again, I want to leave you with this truth. Every word you speak plants a seed. Some seeds bring life, encouragement, and healing. Other seeds bring pain, division, and destruction. That's why I shared that movie with you all and also told you all about the younger 12-year-old who lost her life. That's sad. For what? Scriptures reminds us in Proverbs 13:3 that he who guards his mouth or guards his tongue preserves his life. Sometimes you don't, it's not, I'm not going to even say sometimes. Everything that come up do not need to come out. Pray before you open up your mouth. Pray before you share. Make sure whatever it is that you are talking about, make sure that it is life and not death. Because the smallest things you say can really, truly hurt somebody. So on tonight, I encourage you to examine your words again. Let your speech bring life where there has been discouragement. Let your words bring peace where there has been conflict. And let your voice be a source of wisdom, kindness, and truth. If it can't be those things, as I said earlier, as the elders used to say, if you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all. It's easier to walk away. And if you have to speak, as I told you, Proverbs 15:1 says, a soft answer. Because sometimes you can't walk away. Sometimes you have to address things right then and there. But do it in love. Don't do it to want to stir up wrath. Don't do it to want to bring conflict. Don't do it to be able to go back and tell somebody, yeah, I had to get her told. I had to get my piece out. You know, don't sit back and want to be that person that when people look at you, and let me tell you something, because everybody that's he, and ha, and at you, or at that moment agreeing with you, they really not with you. They were like, she's stupid, or he's stupid. That was foolish. That's crazy. So don't entertain someone in that manner. And don't give anybody an opportunity to be able to look at you and say, uh-oh, here comes trouble. I used to have a T-shirt that it said, here comes trouble. You don't want to be that person that when people see you, they say, here comes trouble. You want to be the peacemaker. Blessed is the peacemakers, for they shall inherit the kingdom. And that's what we want to do. We want to be kingdom builders. We want to help people know and understand that even in this chaotic world, you have people who are going to always speak life and not death. And just because death and life is in the power of the tongue doesn't mean that we need to exercise it. So, thank you for joining us. And I look forward to seeing you in our next episode. I am YaNi'YAH, the host here at Mercy Seat. And may Father have mercy on us all. And I look forward to seeing you all next time. So think about it. Say something positive.
We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, YaNi'YAH. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, ngiyabonga. Senegal, jareh. Kenya, asante. Israel, toda. Pakistan, shukriya. Afghanistan, tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.